Yes, now we are going to be learning the next concept is scroll bars. Let us see what is a scroll bar. Already you are familiar with the scroll bars in your VB.NET. Once again, if you want to implement this scroll bars in your Java, then we are going to be using this scroll bar control in your Java. Okay. Yes. Let me check. Yes, scroll bars are used to select continuous values between a specified minimum and maximum. As you have know the properties of scroll bar in your VB.NET, by using minimum and maximum values, you are making certain events, right? Scroll bars may be oriented horizontally or vertically. Your scroll bar may be either horizontal scroll bars or vertical scroll bars, so you can position either horizontal or vertical. A scroll bar is actually a composite of several individual parts. As we know, it consists of several individual parts. Each end has an arrow that you can click to move the current value of the scroll bar 1 unit in the direction of the arrow. As we know, it is a comprises of multiple parts. It consists of two side of arrows and there's a thumb, right? If you click on the arrow side, it will move 1 unit, right, either in the forward direction or in the backward direction according to the button you are clicking, right? The current value of the scroll bar relative to its minimum and maximum values, it is indicated by the slider or thumb for the scroll bar. So the current value of minimum and maximum value you can able to identify by using your thumb or rider. Here it is the same as the sliders. Okay, slider or thumb. The slider box can be dragged by the user to a new position. By using that sliders, you can drag to a new position. The scroll bar will then reflect this value. Whatever the new position you are scrolling, then that new value will be displayed. Okay, in the background space on the either side of the thumb, the user can click to cause the thumb to jump in that direction. So also instead of dragging, you can also click on either side of the thumb, and according to that thumb, according to that click, the thumb can be moved either in the forward or backward direction, and it can be incremented in larger than 1. Okay, yes, typically this action translate into some form of page up and page down. So this is the main importance of a scroll bars in your softwares, right? So what is the purpose to move to the long areas? Then we have to supposed to use scroll bars. So if you are having pages of informations, then you have to move up or move down. Now scroll bars are encapsulated by the scroll bar class. If you are using in the Java, then if you are using scroll bars, then it has been encapsulated from scroll bar classes. Scroll bar defines the following constructors. Let us see what are the constructors it is defining. Scroll bar throws headless exception. It consists of a scroll bar and it doesn't consist of any style. Here int scroll bar int style throws headless exception. Here you are specifying the style that may be either horizontal or vertical. Got it? Or center left, it may be anything. Okay. Int style in the third form. If you observe here, the third form of a constructor, int style, int initial values, int thumb size, int minimum, int maximum. So you are specifying your style and default initial values, and thumb size, thumb is your rider, right? Thumb size you are specifying, and you are specifying minimum and maximum values of your scroll bar. Now the first form already we have seen. The first form creates a vertical scroll bar. The second and third form allows you to specify the orientation of scroll bar. Okay, so here the scroll bar dot vertical, it says a vertical scroll bar is created style. Scroll bar dot horizontal, it can create horizontal scroll bars. In the third form, already we have said you can specify your initial value, thumb size, and minimum and maximum value. If you construct a scroll bars by using one of our first two constructor, then you need to set its parameter. So if you are using scroll bar by using one of the first two constructors, either first constructor, it doesn't consist of any styles, and in the second constructor it consists of styles and so on, right? So you have to set parameters by using the set values method. Okay, so let us see what is the syntax of set values method. In the set values, you are specifying its initial values, thumb size, minimum and maximum. Suppose if you are using your first form and second form of your constructor. Okay, The parameters have the same meaning as they have in the third constructor just described. Okay, so if you want to set all these initial values, thumb size into minimum and maximum values in your first form as well as the second form, then you have to supposed to call you have to set value method. You have to supposed to use set value method. Okay, to obtain the current value of the scroll bar, call get value method. So if you want to get the value of a scroll bar, call get value method. It returns the current setting. Also it returns current setting. To set the current value, call set value method. If you want to, it returns the current setting. To set the current value, call set value method. By calling set value methods, you can call the values, and by using the get value you can access, right? Yes, here it is saying set value of int new value. Whatever the new value you are initializing, it will be taken for the scroll bar, right? It can be set a value to the slider box. So if you are observing these syntax, this syntax will be set that slider box thumb. Okay, thumb value it will be taken if you specify only this format. If you take set values, you have to specify all these values. If you take only set value, you have to specify only the thumb size. Okay, yes. Now also you can retrieve the minimum and maximum values through get minimum and get maximum. So you can also access minimum value as well as maximum value by using get minimum as well as get maximum. They return the requested quantity. Okay, so by default one is the incremented added to or subtracted from the scroll bar each time it is scrolled up or down one line. If you scroll up and scroll down, it will be either incremented by 1 or decremented by 1. Got it? You can change this incremented by calling set unit increment. If you want to change that incrementation as 1 to some 5 to 10, then we have to use some built-in methods. That built-in method is a set unit increment method. Okay, by using this set unit increment method, by default page up and page down increment are 10. Suppose you have done your lab documentation. If you want to move to the next page, you can either use page down key which is present in your keyboard. So if you want to do page down, its unit is 10. So by using this set unit increment, if you set as a 10, automatically the scroll bar will move to the 10 units forward or backward according to your specification. You can change this value by calling set block increment. Also we can change this value by calling set block increment. Okay, so let us see, by using these two methods you can increment the value of scroll bars, and you can increment or decrement. Okay, yeah, either you can increment or decrement. So if you want to increment or decrement the scroll bar values, then you have to supposed to use void set unit increment, void set block increment. Here you have to supposed to specify. Okay, according to your specification, thumb will be moved in either directions, right? Next, to process scroll bar events, you need to implement adjustment listener interface. Suppose we are generating certain events through scroll bars, right? If you click the button, then add action listeners. If you click, if you use checkbox item state listeners, add item state listeners. Okay, radio button is also same. But if it comes to the list box, it is add action listeners, right? List box add action listeners. For your scroll bars, it is adjustment listener interface. You have to supposed to implement adjustment listener interface. You are adjusting, right? So each time a user interact with a scroll bar, an adjustment event object is generated. When you are adjustmenting your scroll bar, an adjustment event object is generated. Its get adjustment type method can be used to determine the type of adjustments. Here we are using one method, that is get adjustment type method. By using this method, it can determine the type of adjustments. Okay, the type of adjustments events are as follows. Let us see what is the type of adjustments events. Block decrement, a page down event has been generated. If you pass the value as block decrement, a page down. Okay, block increment, page up. Okay, track. An absolute tracking event has been generated. If you give the keyword track, you are identifying the where exact your thumb is appearing. Okay. Unit decrement, the line down. If you take an unit underscore decrement value, you can line down button in a scroll bar has been pressed. Line down button. Okay. So unit increment, line up, line down, line up. So it is nothing but your thumb is moving. Okay. Yes. To understand this concept, let us see this simple example. Demonstrate scroll bar. Import java.awt.star. Import java.awt.event.star is required. Import java.applet.star. Okay. So these are necessary. Afterwards, we have to supposed to write applet tag. So in applet tag, I am using the attribute code. For this, I am giving the name of the class dot class file. Actually, it is a class file. Okay. Name of the class and its height and width. Okay. Now we are writing the class. What is the name of the class? Public class sbdemo extends applet. Please observe here, extends applet. Also it implements adjustments listeners comma mouse motion listeners. Why it is mouse motion listeners? We are dragging, right? We are dragging the thumb, that is your mouse motion listeners. Okay, so it is implementing your adjustments listeners as well as mouse motion listeners. And I'm declaring one variable string message is a blank, and I'm declaring scroll bar objects. I'm declaring scroll bar object. It is a scroll bar class. For that class, it is extending from your applet. So for this class, I am declaring two object. What is the name of the object? Vert sb comma arch sb. Vertical scroll bar, horizontal scroll bar. Okay. Yes. Next, I am initializing public void init method. Here I am taking one width value. So I have to suppose to enter. Please observe here. Okay. Here I am passing width parameter. I am asking get parameter. Okay. If you are using the get parameter method, whatever the method you are specifying on clicks at that time, it can be accessed. Whatever you are accessing, that is a string, you are forcefully converting into integer and you are storing in the width. In the same sense, height. Okay. So you are using get parameter method, and whatever the height consists, it is acting as a string and you are forcefully converting into integer and you are storing in the height variable. Now you are creating vertical scroll bar. How you are saying that? Here we are seeing new scroll bar, right? So vert sb is equal to new scroll bar. You are creating this scroll bar, and scroll bar dot vertical. Vertical, it means a vertical, right? A column scroll bar will appear. Okay, and its initial value is 0, minimum value is 0, maximum value is 0, and height is whatever the height we specified, but it will be placed. And horizontal scroll bar, we are creating this object, and new scroll bar dot style is horizontal. You are getting one horizontal scroll bar. Its minimum value, sorry, initial value is 0, minimum value is 1, and maximum value is 0, and width we have specified. After this, after creation of this component, you are adding this component to your container by using add method. Okay, by using container, you are adding your component. Now whenever you click, whenever you adjust in that scroll bar, some of our events are executed. So to execute that events, you have to develop, you have to implement the code. Let us see what is the code we are implementing. Okay, vert sb dot add action, add adjustment listeners. It is add adjustment listeners, right? So that is why add adjustment listeners of this. Whenever you click on the vertical scroll bar, right, click means whenever you perform some events, that means dragging or clicking, right? All these are the adjustment listeners. All these are the adjustment listeners. According to that, whatever you have registered the listeners, it will be execute. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now horizontal scroll bar. Whenever you click on the horizontal scroll bar, add adjustment listener of this. So according to this scroll bar, this adjustment listeners we has registered. According to that, whatever the code you have implemented, it will be executed. Now add mouse motion listener of this. Please observe here. Whenever you dragged that thumb, whenever you dragged that thumb, that is a dragging option. Hence, it is a mouse motion listeners. So whenever you drag that thumb, this mouse motion listener will execute. So you have specified the listeners. To execute these listeners, we have to, sorry, you have taken the event. To execute this event, we have to use listeners, right? We have to elaborate methods, right? Let us see what is the method we have registered. Public void adjustment value changed. So which method we are going to be taking? Public void adjustment value change. For this event, we are having the listener, these listeners, we are registering these events. Okay, event handlers. These are the event handler methods. Public void adjustment value changed of adjustment event AE. Adjustment event AE. So you are calling repaint method. Repaint method means you are redisplay. Repaint method means you are display, right? So let us see here. We are whenever you performing the mouse dragged option, mouse dragged, when you are doing this mouse drag, whenever you move the thumb, right? So whenever you perform this public void mouse dragged event, listeners, these events should be evaluated, right? This has been registered. This listener has to register, right? Yes. Mouse event me, whenever you perform through this object, you are accessing the value, scroll bar x value, x coordinate value as well as y coordinate value. Okay. So for that, you are using int x is equal to me dot get x. Me dot get x. If you are using me dot get x, then you are accessing x coordinate value of scroll bar, and y means me dot y value, get y means you are accessing y value, means x coordinate as well as y coordinate, height and width maybe, okay, or xy coordinate. Next, you are setting that scroll bar. Please observe here, vertical scroll bar dot setting value. What value you are setting? You are setting the value of y. And horizontal SB, you are setting for your horizontal object. So horizontal scroll bar, you are setting the value of x. Okay. So once you set, it means the thumb will be moved. Okay, this is the position of thumbs, x and y coordinates of thumbs, right? So it will be redisplayed. Okay, repeat means here it is displayed. Now public void mouse mode, whenever you move the mouse, some mouse movement is also some of mouse motion listeners. So according to the mouse movement, these motion listeners will generate. So whenever it generates, we have to perform these events. Let us see what are the events we are performing. We are performing nothing, right? And now public void paint, as you know what is the purpose of a public void paint, it is going to be displaying, you are using the graphics object, and here message is equal to vertical plus vert sb. What is vert sb? Vertical scroll bar dot get value. Vertical scroll bar dot get value. Okay, so it is accessing vertical scroll bar dot get value. Whatever the value you have assigned, it will be accessed. Okay, and message is equal to horizontal. If you click on the horizontal scroll bar, if you click on the vertical scroll bar message is displayed. If you click on the horizontal scroll bars get value, whatever the value is exist, whatever the value you assigned, it will be displayed. So g dot drawstring, the message will be displayed at 6,160 location. Also g dot drawstring star horizontal scroll bar dot get value. So whenever you mouse drag the position, it will be store the message as display the message as a star, and whatever the dragging location area, you are getting that value. Okay, and whenever you're doing the same thing for your vertical scroll bar, you are accessing the value, but it will show star. So if you execute this program, you are getting, this is vertical scroll bar, horizontal scroll bar. Here it is showing vertical 28, horizontal 22. So this is x value and y value. Okay, so whenever you drag, it will show stars. Okay, according to that stars. Let me check whether it will work or not. Let me copy this program. I'm copying. Let me take notepad plus plus. Just now file new and paste it. Till now we have expanded the same program. Let me check whether it is working or not. Okay, let me copy and paste, copy and paste. Yes, now let me check how to save this file. Its file is as b demo, right? I'm copying and I'm opening file, save. While saving, you should ensure that you are storing in JDK 1.4, right? sbdemo.java. Yes, I saved. Now minimize. I'm opening my command prompt. Yes, I'm maximizing. I don't want. We have to log out, right? Logging into our directory cd jdk 1.4/bin. Now java c sbdemo sbdemo.java. Is there any mistake, any errors? No errors. Now we have to run applet viva sbdemo.java. What happened? v-i-v-e-w spelling mistake, right? Applet viva applet v yes, spelling mistake. Got it. sbdemo.java. Yes, spelling mistake we have done. Yes, now it is opening, right? Please observe here. It is opened. Let me maximize, and you are seeing here now it is nothing is there, 00 is there, right? So when I'm trying to drag here, it will show. When I click here, adjustment listeners are executing, and you are seeing the star is also moving. If I click here, star is moving, star is displaying the location value. Got it? Yes, if I drag here, whatever the dragging location, it is moving. If I drag here, dragging location value is moving. Clear? Yes, so that is your program. Okay, so by using this you can perform these kinds of operations in your java programs, applet programs. Okay, now it's a time for text field. Till now we have learned labels, buttons, checkbox, choice box, checkbox group means automatically radio buttons, choice controls, and list controls. Choice means drop down list, right? List means list box, and last one is scroll bar. Now we are learning about text field. So let us see this text field. Okay, text box. So if you want to get many text boxes, we have to use text field classes. The text field classes implements a single line text entry area, usually called an edit control. If you want to use your text field, then the class implements a single line text entry area, usually called edit controls. So then we have to suppose to use your text field class for implementing single line text, and usually this is also called edit control. Why it is edit control means you can modify the entered value. Okay, text field allows user to enter string and to edit the text using the arrow keys, cut and paste keys, and mouse selections. So you can edit whatever the values you have inputted in your text field class by either using arrows, cut, copy, paste, and mouse selections. Okay, text field is a subclass of text component. Let us see what is a text field. If you are using the text field in your java programs, then it is a subclass of text component. Let us see what are the constructors we have to suppose to use. Text field defines the following constructor. Text fields defines the following constructors. Okay, so if you are using text field blank, you are getting an empty text box. Text field int num characters. So if you are specifying int number of characters, it will take how many character as to suppose to display. How many character as to suppose to display through side exception. In the third constructors, text field string str. Here string str, it can access any number of characters, any number of strings. Okay, text field string str int num characters, you are accessing string with number of characters. Okay, let us see. First version is the default, second version is number of characters, character wide, and third one is it can access the string in the fourth form a text field and it is set its width. So here the number of characters specify what is the width of that text field. Okay, so text field and its superclass. Just a minute, it doesn't miss, I think so, whether it is continuing the same. Yes, let me delete here, actually it is there. Okay, we are moving to the next. Whether it is the same or not. Wide select into wide select. Yes, yes, same thing. Okay, we are moving to the next slide. The next slide is also contain the same information, so I am moving the next slide. Text field and its superclass text component provides several methods that allow you to utilize text field. So this text field consists of several methods. Let us see what are those methods. To obtain the current string currently contained in the text field, call getText. So by using this getText method, you can accessing the content in that the value in that text field. Okay, to set the text, call the setText method. If you want to assign a value to a text box, text field, then you have to supposed to use setText method. Okay, by using this setText method, you are assigning the value, and by using the getText, you are assigning you are accessing the value. So then what is the general syntax? String getText of void setText of string str. So getText means you are accessing the text box content, void setText means you are setting the value in that text field. Okay, here str is the new string, whatever the string you are assigning. The user can select a portion of text in a text field. Also, user is having a right to select certain portion in the text field. Also, you can select a portion of text under program control by using the select method. So you can also select certain portion of the text under the program when running by using select methods. Your program can obtain the currently selected text by calling getSelectedText. So also you can obtain the currently selected text by calling getSelectedText. Whatever the text you have selected in your text field, whatever the text you have selected in your text field, if you want to access, then you have to call getSelectedText method. GetSelectedText method. Let us see the syntax of select as well as getSelectedText. So this is the syntax: string getSelectedText of void select int start index comma int end index. So why here it is giving as a start index and end index? In the text field I can select anywhere else, right? Wherever I am selecting, it can be taken the starting index value as well as ending index value. Now by using this get selected text returns the selected text. The select method selects the character beginning at the start index and ending at end index -1. You can also edit your text. Please observe this method is very important. You are identifying these methods in your lab programs. In partial lab programs that consist. Okay, you can control whether the content of a text field may be modified by the user by calling setEditable. If you want to modify the content of text field, then you have to suppose to call setEditable method. setEditable method. You can determine editability by calling isEditable method. So by setting this method, you can make editing of your text field. Okay, is editable defines whether you can modify or not, okay. Yes, these methods are shown here. Let us see the methods here. One is boolean is editable. editable, void set editable. Boolean is editable. Is editable means it checks whether it is editable or not. Set editable means you are setting that text field has to be edited. So if you observe here, the parameter can edit is there. It indicates you can edit or not. Okay, is editable returns true if the text may be changed, and false if not. If you have set the is editable method, if you have set already your text field as a not editable, okay, not editable, then it returns a true, sorry, it returns a false. If it is editable, then it will return true. Okay, if you try to editable your text field, then if it is possible, then it will returns true, otherwise it will returns false. In set editable, if can edit is true, the text may be changed. In set editable method, can edit is true, then only you can modify the content in your text field. If it is a false, it is not modified. Okay, yes. So it is just like as your read only method. What do you mean by read only? You can't modify. Got it? Yes. Let us see. Read only, yes, read only property, just like as in a read only. Okay, yes. If you set editable is the true, can edit is the true, then you can make a modification. You can disable the echoing of characters as the type by calling set echo characters. So if you use this set echo char method, set echo char method, then you are unable to modify the content. You are unable to view whatever you type in the text field. You are unable to view, okay, you are unable to view whatever you are typing in the text field. So it will access and stores, but it doesn't display. This method specify a single character that the text field will display when characters are entered. Thus actual character type will not be shown. Here it is clearly specified. You can check a text field to see if it is in this mode with the echo char is set method. You can check a text field to see if it is in this mode with the echo char is set method. Okay, echo char is set method. You can retrieve the echo char by calling get echo char method. Okay, if you want to set these fields, then you have to call the method of echo char set method. If you want to retrieve the echo character by calling get echo char method, by calling get echo char method, whatever the content you have typed in your text field can be displayed. Okay, it is just like as in hiding your passwords, right? If you want to hide your password, whatever you are typing, it is not supposed to display, then it is just like that. Void set echo char ch, boolean echo char is set. These are the methods we are using. Already we have specified where ch specifies the character to be echoed. So what character has to be echoed in the place of a password? Okay, since text field performs their own editing functions, your program generally will not respond to individual key events that occur within a text field. So text field perform its own editing functions. Your program generally will not respond to individual keys. Okay, it doesn't respond for the individual keys events that occurs within a text field. However, you may want to respond when the user presses enter key. So whenever the user press the enter key, it will respond. When this occurs, an action event is generated. Whenever you typed the content in your text field and hit the enter key, at that time some events are generated. Okay, so let us see some example. Here as given username and password screen. Username and password screen. Yes. So let us see. First, these are the common packages: import java.awt.star, import java.awt.event.star, import java.applets. These are necessary. Afterwards, within a comment, you must use applet tag and Code attribute is very important. You are supplying the name of the class and width and height. Now you are writing the class. So public class, what is the name of the class? Text field demo. Extends applets, implements action listeners. This is also action listeners, so you are entering, right? So that is why it is taking as action listeners. Now you are declaring text field objects, text box objects. Text field means text box. Okay, don't get text box, you are not supposed to write text box here. Text field, text field object is name comma pass. Now you are initializing public void init method. You are creating the label. Please observe here, label name p is equal to new label of name colon label dot write. In the right side you are getting one label with specifying as name colon, and the name of the object is name p, and you are creating one more label, that is password. Label object you are creating with the text should be appear as password. This is also from right. Okay, next you are creating this text field object. Name is equal to new text field of 12. You have specified the width. What is the width you are specifying? 12. So within this 12 box will be appear. And next password, password is equal to new text field of 8. You are specifying 8. Then a text field text box is appearing with the width of 8. And next you just observe here pass. What is pass? Text box object. Text box object pass dot set echo character. Whatever you are typed in this text field control, it should be displayed in the form of question mark. Okay, you are setting the character. Which character you are setting? Set echo character method, you are setting the question mark. If you type your name also, it will show question mark. Okay, next what we are doing, add name p. Add name p means you are adding the label. Add name p means you are adding the label object to the browser. Add name. Now you are adding your text field. Okay, in front of a name you are getting one text field. Please observe this sequence. Okay, and next add pass p. What is add pass p? The label. In the front of label we have to get one text field, right? That is why you are adding pass. So what is pass? Your text field object. Next, whenever you click name dot add action listener of this, so whenever you enter in the text field text box name, then some event has to generate. So to generating that events, we have to register our listeners. That listeners are add action listeners. Okay, so whenever you click, whenever you enter in the text box 1, that is the text box 1 is name 1. Okay, name, then some event has to generate. In the same sense, if you use the password, after entering the password and you just click the enter button, some of the event has to generate. So it will generate according to the code we have developed. So to generating that event, we are writing main void action performed method, public void action performed method, because of action listeners, right? Public void action performed action event AE repaint method. So repaint method means you are redisplaying. Repaint method means you are redisplaying. Now public void paint graphics G. Public void paint graphics G. So you are taking the graphics object G dot drawstring. G dot drawstring. So you are displaying name plus name dot get text. So you are displaying in your browser. Please observe here, in your browser you are displaying what you are displaying? Name. What is name? Your text field. Text field dot get text. Whatever the text you have entered in that text box, you are displaying in your browser. Okay, where you are displaying 6 and 60 interaction places, x and y coordinate interaction places. And next G dot drawstring selected text in name. So you are selecting the text name dot get selected. Name is your name. Under your name text field, your text box, you are selecting some content. Whatever the content you have selected, that should be displayed in 6,80. So that for selecting that, you are using select method default get selected text. Whatever the content you have selected, it can be accessed. Okay, and next you are displaying the password pass dot get text. Pass dot get text, whatever the value you have entered, that will be displayed in 6,100 location. Okay, so if you observe here, the output will be appear like this: name smc comma Shirva. So this is label, this is text field, this is label text field. So this whatever the G dot drawstring you are used, you have used, it has been displayed here. Okay, yes, it has been displayed here. Let us see the execution of this program. Let us see the execution of this program. Okay, let me copy and take notepad plus plus, take the new file and paste it, and come your slide, copy and paste it. That's it. Okay, now save it. How to save? Text field demo, right? Copy, save, ensure that you are storing in appropriate folder, right? Paste it dot java. Yes. Afterwards reduce it and close it if it is required. Already we are in our folder. Now compile our program. Java C text field demo dot java. There is no error. Let us run our program. Applet vivo text field demo dot java. So now it is displaying, right? For better understanding, let me zoom it. Okay, fine. Yes, fine. Now please observe, I'm entering smc here. Please observe here. Here it is. Please observe here. It doesn't consist any value, any value until unless I enter, right? If I enter, then what happens? The add action listeners will execute. According to that add action listeners, it will display the content, right? If I enter, smc is display. Let us see. Let me type smc vca sherwa. If I press enter, it will display, right? Let me remove this and type K Praveen Kumar. If I enter, automatically it is clearing. Got it? And now if I enter the password, I'm entering some password. Whatever the password I have entered, it will be displayed in the form of question mark. Whenever I'm entering here, what exactly I have typed, what exact characters I have typed, it will be displayed here. Okay, I have entered the password as Shirley. Clear? So likewise your program will execute. Clear? Yes. Hope you understand this concept. We will meet in the next class. Okay, see you.